Show us your tips. Daggy and Beaver are with you. We've got two 10-race cards to get into these days, so let's get stuck in. Beaver, though, did you get to call Wednesday afternoon to fill up? It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was a pretty good afternoon by all accounts, Daggy. Got a few winners home and happy days.
Yeah,
I think
both.
all of our best bets won.
Yeah, both best bets. We had, I think, Swainess at a good price. John Bowley was well backed in the last. Pretty, and the other thing in the last got out to a decent price too, whichever down in sale. So
Praise the jury.
yeah, ended up being not a bad little afternoon for a couple of cards I don't know all that keen on, but it's funny how often that's happened over the last few years.
That's the way we roll, mate. That is the way we roll.
Well, let's keep rolling. Spring's in the air because we've got Missile Stakes and the Aurie Star. Apparently, there's a Group 1 in 2 weeks, believe it or not, but we're straight into it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Winx Stakes is coming up shortly. Looking forward to that, but let's get stuck into Rosehill first, where we're on a good track. Weather's beautiful. The rail is in the true. I've treated it as fair, but I just have an icky feeling about Rosehill that you might want to be not too far from the rail throughout the afternoon. It seems to have been the trend of late, and until we get some decent
Well, it
rain,
won't be a mini
otherwise
valley. It won't be a mini valley. Let's put it that way.
that's true, but may not be much better. But for all intents and purposes, we'll roll with the punches and treat this as a decent enough track for now. We kick off with the highway. We're back to having the highways and midways to start the cards, which leaves our quaddies alone. 800 metre class 3. I guess is even money fair for Burrendana, Beaver?
Probably not.
Yeah,
It's busted to win a race. It's going well enough to win this race. It's been unlucky not to have probably won in the last couple of races. This is a weaker field than it has met and deserves to be favourite and should win. $2 in a highway for a horse that's won 2 from 9. Not so sure.
yeah. I don't know. I haven't. I'm not a highway specialist, so that was my first thought. I thought it looks a bit short to me, but I don't really know where else to go. So we'll move on to the midway. Benchmark 72, $7 the field over the 1100 metres. And my thought was I want to cover a few here. And my starting point was actually Espresso, who opened up 20s when I did the form. I know it's got an outside gate there, but Hieronymus has returned in good order. Came through a reasonable set of midways that last time in around some decent horses. Gets an on-pace spot here from that gate, and I think it was 20s. It's now about $15. I think it's worth a crack. Hard to say he's tied to it, and is half the price, and is a good chance. Has trialled, some could say better than it, and comes here from the middle gate. And I like how Boss is going. There's other bits and pieces as well. Like Boss has been saved for this from midweek, but was going well to then. I love Ninglu Stars Trials, who's a big price. And I could probably keep going. Very tricky race. I'm going to try and cover 2 or 3 of those, depending which way the market heads. I was even interested, actually, keeping going down here with Undivided, the 2-year-old coming straight to a midway. Shows a bit of intent, but having tipped 6 horses at the price, my best result's going to be around Espresso, and hard to say. What have you made of all this?
Yeah, bit the same as you. This is one of the most open races I've ever seen, I think. I was the same. I was probably going to play around 2 or 3. I like Super Bright, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Ran on nicely from midfield last up behind Diamond Diesel. That was a good run. And then wasn't that far off them in the midway prior to that. So it's had some good form of late. Probably needs a bit of pace on here, but the gate 3 here, I thought it was drawn the best of some of these. So I had it on top. Thought you're right. Boss could run well, but the gate just turned me off 16. So I was a bit concerned about that. And I thought the resuming Oxford Vision always knows how to run a good race, and again, probably a reasonable draw here. So they were the 3 I was looking at, but on top, Super Bright.
Yeah, it's ended up being probably the most interesting race on the card, actually. Anyway, let's see how it pans out. We've got the third, which is a benchmark 78, 2,400 metres. Are you sticking with Aristonous coming back to Sydney?
Yeah, I am going to stick with Aristonous coming back to Sydney. just got too far out of its ground last start. It was way too far back, and they found it made some okay ground over the 2000 there. This gets to 2400. I think that'll suit, and its 2 runs prior to that were pretty good. I think it can turn it around here and run really well and be hardest to beat.
Yeah, easy to go with the different form line coming back from Caulfield. It was just given none in that race, and that track wasn't ideal either. The only concern, if there is one, is the first time to 2400 metres with a space between runs. But I'm giving it the chance here. If it doesn't run a distance, I think So United can turn the tables on Kirkby. I think it's going pretty well and gets potentially a favourable track. But yeah, Aristonous on top. Probably fairly keen to have a crack at it, actually. Race 4
Yep.
is a 1400 metre benchmark 72, and the form through Kangaroo Court's last win looks pretty good now. How good are you and Swaysive both came out and won on Wednesday? I think Forecaster came through that race and won last weekend, and now sets up with Tim Clark to possibly get the control of this race, and I think it'll win again. If there's a danger here, it's to go to Vroom, jumps on its back, hopefully not too far back along the fence for Karen, and back to a drier track with even luck, I think can be the challenger. And that was about the race for me.
Yeah, look, I've settled on 2. Dakota Vroom was 1. Had it on top. I thought it could suffered a bit from probably second up syndrome last start. Wasn't the worst run. First up was really good. Love the way it hit the line there. Think it can run well with the right draw here. And I thought Nana's Wish, also third up from the Mar Eustace stable, showing some good improvement. Finished off its first run back this prep was behind Dakota Vroom, and then second up was pretty good. Hit the line quite nicely. I think it will have improved from that. Gets in at the lightweight, can run well.
Race 5 is a 1200 metre benchmark 78 for the girls. How are you going with this one?
Yeah, good race here. 3 or 4 of these in the market. They're going quite well at the moment. I thought the favourite Wave Rider boy was a bit skinny. I'm going for number 9, Lovero. It's going great guns at the moment. Last start was pretty good, and prior to that had ran well as well. Seems to be improving. Always around the money. This time in, only had the 3 starts. Peak fitness here, and got the right drawing gate 3. Can run well.
Cool. I agree. I'm not necessarily knocking Wave Rider Boy, but Petulant settled in front of it and beat it home last start. It's going to settle in front of it again, and it's nearly 3 times the price. So I'm going to back Petulant in this race. Lovera was the other one I went looking for. You've covered that off. And Wave Rider Boy can win, but it's potentially going to be back last and wide here, and giving the rest a start. Do I want to take even money? Not even a little bit. So that's the way I lined them up. The 6 is a 1350 metre benchmark 78, and I went up and down this card and decided there's nothing else in this race but the favourite, King of Naples, who's flying, gets a quick backup, gets probably the perfect run, does lose Nash, but gets J-Mac, and probably wins again. I think the only danger to it, in my opinion, is Watagos, who won last start on a Saturday sitting outside lead, now gets complete control, and is going to be hard to get past. I know you could make a case here for Soami as well. I was a little bit against it last time and regretted it, but I'm going to stick with the backup horse here in King of Naples.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. That was a lovely win last start. Got the right run, to be fair. 1 out, 1 back, but presented nicely. It was always tracking well, and finished off nicely. Probably got to the front earlier than it needed to, but still won and won well. So on top for me as well. And Swami is the danger, as you said. Career best form here, 2 wins last 2 starts, and if the pace is on and one's coming home, it'll be it.
Quaddy kicks off with the boys version, a benchmark 78 over 1,200 metres. Is Time to Boogie better than I'd given it credit for here?
We'll soon see. I've gone for Legio 10. Great form this time in, and it's been beaten the last 2 starts by some pretty decent horses. and both times up the straight at Flemington, or the longest straight at Flemington. I think here this sets up nicely. Gate 8 is perfect. Got J Mac aboard and should get the right run. Keen that it'll run really, really well, and I think it's the best horse in the race. Big watch on for Sheeta Hassan, resuming here. Had some wraps on it.
It's time to
A
move
couple
on.
of campaigns to go.
Grant, it's time to move on.
You don't think so?
It's time to move on.
All right. See how we go.
That probably makes it immoral. Keep going.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Moving on.
Legio 10 gets a perfect run.
Obvious.
Yeah. Go on. Anything else?
Nah, go on, mate.
Legio 10 sets up well here. Everything you said. Gets the right run. I think it's flying. I think the form through both those races is not bad for Melbourne form. And I think the two leaders, Time to Boogie sitting outside lead and Brudenell underneath, probably cut each other up and are sitting shots, I'm hoping, for Legio 10 to jog on by. As I said, maybe I've underrated Time to Boogie a little bit here, and we will see how that goes. But, blue colours for me. The feature is the Group 2 1,200-metre sprint, the Missile Stakes. A little bit blue colours again. Interesting race, though. But Big Parade has trialled amazingly for Joe Pride, but big effort to get it here, 18 months off and win. Has the blinkers up the sleeve, so, maybe not just yet. I was looking through the other freshies, and I just sort of thought Gold Mole's a proper group horse, spent all of its life pretty much in Group 1 and 2 company. Might be a bit of a slug, but the trial was fine. Last trial was good. J-Mac on, inside gate's going to jump straight on the back of I Am Me and Big Parade and might get the best shot at them. I Am Me gets the best run on it, just in front of it, but I'm not quite sure there's any guts to the form. And if you're looking for the two that are up and going and a price, for more so for maybe a quaddie point of view, you called it, and Dragonstone are those. They're doing nothing wrong at the moment. What have you seen this one?
I've gone for Ingratiating.
Okay.
That was an excellent win last start. It was okay first up. Unsuitable truck at Caulfield, and then it was outstanding in the Group 3 Bletchingly last start. Thought that was pretty good. I think it'll get the right sit here. Gate 9's good. Can get to the middle of the track here, and if there's any chink in the armours of the ones up front, it'll find it. You're right, Golden Mile can run well. Just think again, Big Parade is a little bit skinny. I know it's won a barrier trial by 20 lengths, but yeah, I don't know. Probably, it's that price and its favourite because it did that. If it won that by 3 lengths, it's probably not even favourite. So
it's still a long time between runs for an on-pace horse in a race like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
16 months off.
Yeah.
But maybe, and a 7-year-old. So, we shall see. But I'd prefer something around the two blue colours of $7 and $8.
The 9th is the 1,800-metre Premier's Cup Prelude. Who have you found here?
Yeah, sticking with Fawkner Park. Can't see why it just doesn't keep winning. It's a clear on top pick for me here. It's the real up-and-comer. It's going great guns and is racing against pretty much midweekers. On top for me. Just keep an eye on a horse like Carlapore. He might run well first up.
Yeah, Fawkner's the real deal, I think. It's going well, freshened up here, back to 1,800 metres. He's going to find a running line spot. It has been impressive every time it's been in the races. And I think he can take on the, 8 Waller runners here, or however many it is, and win this. I'm going to make the danger in a race like this where Waller rolls out the half the barn. It's usually something outside the box, and that's Born a King, I think, runs well. I liked its work going into the first up run. I think that first up run wasn't too bad. Drier track is the key to the horse, and gets a nice enough run down in the weights and his 20s. So one that I'll be throwing into everything. But who knows with the rest of these Waller runners. I agree Carlapore will be in my quaddie numbers when I get there. The last is a benchmark 78 over 1,500 metres. And I think this is a pile of trash, this race, to be honest. And just went looking for the horse with least convictions, and that's Osbred Rising Sun. I know it got out to a trip last time, but has trialled well enough here. And this is a good race for it to kick off in. If it's got any semblance of better than Saturday ability, it can run very well here and is still an each-way price. I'm sick of the rest of them and don't really want to talk about it. Have you got anything else?
Yeah, not a great race to finish today, but I'm pretty keen that Gracilia Styler can run well here. It was butchered last start. It was tracking right up behind him last start. It just couldn't get a run, given no chance, and that's why they put it back up on the fast back up here. It had plenty in hand and had something to offer at that behind a good horse. So I'm gonna say it can run really well. $3 a horse that's won 2 out of 17. Not overly keen. It seems to always find trouble, but clear on top for me here in the last.
You had enough of Space Tracker? I know it was a horse you mentioned a few times along the way.
Yeah. Want to see it do a bit more. Needs to win a race.
Yeah, fair enough. Exactly what I think. Race that concludes the races at Rosehill. I better give you a quaddie. My quaddie numbers from Rosehill in the first. I'm going to go 1 Brudenell, 5 Legio 10, 7 Time to Boogie. The Beaver fans can throw in the 8 if they really want. 8. I'm going to go 1 Golden Mile, 2 Ingratiating, 4 Big Parade, 5 You Called It, 6 Dragon Stone, 11 I Am Me. Just for down the road, very interested to see if Joe Pride can get the best out of Argentia with a prep with him. Race 9, 1,800 metres. The race 3. It's late, everyone. Horse 3, Calipore. Horse 5, Bonnie Ezra. Horse 10, Born a King. And 11, Fawkner Park. And we'll come home with 2 Space Tracker. I'm going to throw it in just because there's not much else here. 3, Osbred Rising Sun. 6, Gracili Styler. 14, Amor Victorious. Your best and value for progroupracing.com.au.
My best is race 9, number 11, Fawkner Park. And my value bet is race 8, number 2, Ingratiating.
My best is race 3, number 5, Aristonous. I also like Kangaroo Court. Value is race 9, number 10, Born a King at the 20s. Can run us a race, I think. We head down to the new world of Melbourne racing where we get 10 races each week down there as well, for better or worse. We're on a good track. The rail's in the 10-metre mark. Should all be good. We kick off with 1,100 metre benchmark 70. Their answer, Beaver, to having 10 race cards is just throw a bunch of benchmark 70s on the program, which has not instilled me with confidence.
Beautiful.
But I suppose we've got to find a winner in them. This is the new season 3-year-olds in the first, up the straight. Is there a winner here for us?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Moody Train River Noir. I think it can run well. Only had the 3 starts for 2 wins and a second, and all of those have been really good runs and pretty convincing wins. Resumes here, right trainer, right jockey to win a race like this, on top for me, about $3.
Agree. I'm sort of not the best person to give a fair opinion of this because I just see lightly raced Moody coming to a race like this. I'm always going to be gravitating straight to it, and that's what I've done. I couldn't find a great deal to tempt me away from it. Smile and Wave was too bad to be true. First up, maybe can improve here around the each-way price. The second is, I guess, their equivalent of the midways. I got halfway through this and wondered what the hell was happening, and I realised it's all, I guess, the smaller trainers. So good luck to them. It's benchmark 70 level. It's up the straight, 1,200 metres. I don't know what I've quite done here. I've just decided Rock Ribbed and In Her Stride are the 2 best horses, and I'm going to probably back both of them. The one's $18, one's $9. I think they can both run okay here. Outside of them, I'm forgiving of Interstar's last couple of runs. It's going to be 40s or 50s, and it's had no luck the last couple. Also capable of a knockout shot in a race like this. This will end up like some of these midways we get where we get things strolling in at prices. I'll play around those 3 horses, hopefully get a result. What do you think?
Yeah, wasn't keen on this at all. If I was forced to have a bet, I'd probably go number 8 in her stride. It's had some decent runs before. It's run a placing in a Group 3, and ran some okay runs last time in. Could run well, but not an overly keen race.
Race 3 is a 1410 metre benchmark 70. Sorry, this one's for the new season 3-year-olds. First one was open, but who do you like?
Yeah, this was hard as well.
Mm.
Found this real hard. I went for number 4, Gornsky.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought runs have been nice. Last one was a good run behind Molly Knickers, which looks to be a horse with a bit of ability. And I thought it hit the line quite well there. I think the 14:10 at Flemington was suit the big straight, and I expect it to be running on hard. Its only failure was on a heavy track, so willing to forgive that and expect it can run well.
Yeah, not the easiest race to line up. I have gone with the Busted and Young horse here, Warlords. I liked its work going into that first win. Took a while to get wound up in that debut run at Sale, but once it did, it hit the line nicely. I think 1400 metres will suit. Gets Blake Shin and is on top for me. From Orion the Hunter, who didn't have the best of luck. I think the step up in trip will suit. Mum was pretty good over 1400 metres and a mile. I think it will suit this one as well. Didn't have the greatest deal of luck in town last time. They're the two for me in a tricky race. The fourth is a benchmark 84 over 1410 metres again for the girls. And I went up and down in this race, and I just settled on the Sydney form in the end. Comes down here from some decent stuff, gets Blake Shin, gets a right run, and meets a pretty good field to beat up on. So I'm with Fear Not. From Queen Air, who I'm convinced has talent, freshened up, dropping back to the 1400 metres, drier track, should all help it out. Can probably roll along close to the pace and run quite well here. What have you made of them?
Yeah, gone the same as you. Gone for Sydney form. I think Fear Not can run really well here. It's a good win last start and was going well before that. Fit behind a couple of other good horses. I think it'll be suited by Flemington. Like that it's taken there, and right combination. Blake Shin, Chris Waller.
Beauty. Another one with a pretty good mum there, actually, at a red tracer. The fifth is a 2530 metre benchmark 100. All our old favourites are here. So I've had enough of all them going for the fresh blood. Alhambra Lad is flying. Was just been beating up these staying races at midweek level. Went to Adelaide, had a barrier trial and won by 4. Got paid for it. Comes back here, and I think this is a great race to come to a Saturday and run really well. On top from, I'm actually putting first in line, second, Bishin, Sydney form, now third up. And I suppose that both Mimi's Award and Mostly Cloudy have to run well because they have been on a store prep. And if you like them, I wouldn't talk you out of them. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going for Mostly Cloudy. I think it can turn the tables here, and I think it now gets everything it needs to run really well here. So I've got it on top, and yeah, I think it's going to be hardest to beat. I'm not so sure about Cloudamare Moore's run last start on that track at Moonee Valley.
Yeah,
Hard to really get a
forget it.
guide on that, so I'm not sure. So for me, Mostly Cloudy on top.
The 6 is a 2,000 metre benchmark 78. How do you line them up?
Yeah, look, interesting affair, the race 6 here over the 2000. Look, I think some of these down in the market here, you can't really get that excited about them. I've stuck with Shehar. I'm willing to forgive its last start failure and go off its one win prior to that. Yeah, it's 1-3 from 6, and this isn't a difficult affair. Some of these have been going around for a while and don't show up all that often.
I'm sticking with Shehar as well. That was first time out at 25, freshened it up. Shin stuck, blinkers popped on, tick over trial since. I think it runs well here. From Angel of Light, I'm going to throw into as a danger here at a price. back to, again, another one, back to 2000. I think Suits gets a cozy run on the pace. Is a big price. Similar to Court Deep, can do the same. So a couple, just outside the market can run well there. The feature is the Group 3 Aurie Star Handicap, 1,200 metres up the straight, and we may well see the ingratiating race provide 3 or 4 winners across the country tomorrow. But is it going to provide the winner of this race?
I think it's a huge chance. I did come down to 2. It was one of them. I put It's Our Time on top. I just think it loves the straight track here. Loves this distance. Only won one, but ran pretty close in a lot of the others. I think it'll be fighting out the finish. So I've got it on top, and as you said, it's got the ingratiating form, so no reason it can't run well.
I went looking for something fresh here, and I have come up with Dance to Dubai. Had the win up the straight last time out. The mare off the win. He's probably going to lead this race at $16 with Carleen Heffel, and just brings a different form line. I'm going to make the Main Danger Cause for Concern, who might just be a nice horse. Has done very good things all preparation, and I think It's Our Time is the best chance out of the Bletchingley. I like that Mickey D's quietly just come back into town, and he might be making some nice noises in the next few weeks. Now it's springtime, so looking forward to him really getting back and amongst it. The 8th is a benchmark 84 over 1,620 metres. And I loved what Aaron Bay did last time, especially because I tipped it and backed it. I am going to stick solid. It's $19. It's going to get a nice flowing run here from the gate up the Flemington Straight. It's finally out to probably its favoured distance at the mile, and I think it has to run well here. From Presser, who comes to town, and similar to that bottom weight in the previous, and one we get to later, some of these races are just screaming out for fresh blood, and I think Presser comes to the right race to really run well here. I liked both its starts, his prep, and it can run well again. Yes, Braden Star's a chance, but we say that a lot. What do you think?
No, I've got Hennessy Lad on top here, pretty keen. I think it's a very nice bet around the $7 mark. Would have liked to see it drawn in a little bit, but its first up run was very good. Moody said that it probably would need the run, and it did tell there. It sort of was on pace, and it just probably gave out late in the race there. Only finished 2 lengths off behind Cause for Concern, who, as you said, could well be a handy horse. Gets the kilo and a half claim here, and I think this is a very winnable race for it. It's going to be hard to beat.
The 9th is a 1,410. You mean Presser or Cause for Concern? Sorry, just caught me there. Cause for Concern is in the other one. 410 metre benchmark 100 is up next. Beaver, who do you like here?
Yeah, tricky race here. It's really hard to get a guide on some of these. Most of these are resuming. I've gone for Devoted.
Okay.
I think he can run really well here. Has ran well in group company and listed company before. It goes well enough fresh. It's won 2 out of 3, won 4 out of 11 with 3 placings. Handles the good and soft conditions. I think the gate 12 is probably okay because it'll want to be coming down the middle of the track, and gets a 2 kilo claim. It's got a featherweight here, 51 on its back. Could run really well. So I had it on top. I think it can run well. Keen to see how Berkeley Square returns. This might be short of what it's really looking for, so not so short there. And I thought a horse down in the market, number 7, Regards Marie, 20 to 1. I think it can run really well, third up and now at its peak.
I think there's 2 major chances here. I didn't give it a lot of time to devote, but I'll revisit that. I think Nicolini Vito's flying. I think it's come back really well. Didn't mind its first up run. I really liked its second up run through that ingratiating race. And I think this is a field full of horses looking for a run or two. And it's now third up with Ollie, and I think runs really well. From Berkeley Square, potentially best horse in the race, if not the best horse in the race, has to kick off somewhere. And hopefully it can stamp its authority as we head towards spring. And I even thought about throwing Ho Ho Khan into a quaddy because I'm slightly mad, but they're the two key chances for me. I think we get a key chance in the last, though. 1100 metre benchmark 84 up the straight. And do you want to talk about this favourite?
Yeah, I think favourite's going to be hard to beat here. It was outstanding last preparation, just continued to improve. Ran third in its last run behind What You Need, which we know how good it is, and was only a length behind it. Look, I think this is a perfect race to resume in. $1.90, you won't get that on race day. It'll start $1.60, $1.65. We'll be winning.
Yep, good horse. It's going to some group stuff. If it's got its four legs and it hasn't lost any ability from last prep, it'll win this. If you need something for your quaddy, the usual suspect up the straight, Najim Suhail, will make it work. And after potting ranting on first up, saying couldn't win, and it didn't, it's not the worst $16 shot here. What have you got in your quaddy?
Yeah, interesting quaddy to start off. First leg, race 7. I'm going number 2, General Bow. Number 4, It's Our Time. Number 5, Zethos. Number 6, Shazay. Number 8, Dance to Dubai. And number 11, Cause for Concern. So going quite wide there. In the next leg, which is race 8, I'm going number 2, Aaron Bay. Number 8, Vitruvius. Number 10, Hennessy Lad. Number 14, Presser. In the third leg, race 9, I'm going number 3, Berkeley Square. Number 5, Nicolini Vito. Number 7, Regards Marie. Number 8, Biometric. And number 14, Devoted. Number 15, Tijuana. And then I'm going to finish in the last race, 10, number 2, Benedetta.
Awesome. I assume we've got the same best bet. Race 10, number 2, Benedetta.
We
and
do?
My value is going to be race 8, number 2, Aaron Bay. Which way are you going?
I'm going race 8, number 10, Hennessy Lad.
Nice little Quinella play there at a price. What have we got
Sounds like a plan.
up north? Anything for us?
Up north, what have we got up north? I've got race 2, number 3, United Nations. If it starts up north, I think it can win up there. I've got race 3, number 3, Tango Fever. I think that's the best bet of the day up in Brizzy. And then race 6, number 2, Zoroastro. And we finish the day.
Anyway,
I don't know. We're going to finish the day with race 9, number 2, Hype.
Hype. Excellent. That's certainly what I am for spring, and spring is coming. So sign up to the mailing list at progroupracing.com to get our Saturday shows into your inbox free every Friday night. And, of course, check out progroupracing.com.au. We've got articles up twice a week. We've got our show up there twice a week. There's plenty of news from the other boys at the site. Lots going on there. Check that out. And, Beaver, good punting this weekend. I will talk to you very soon.
Look forward to it.
See you guys.